Bam, ba, bam, 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 ba, bam, 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 ba, 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 bam, bam, ba, bam, bam. Heirlooms are probably the most sought after item in all of Apex Legends, or at least they used to be, are some of the coolest things that any game has ever done. And since Apex has announced that they are no longer creating legend-specific heirlooms, and they are now transitioning to universal heirlooms that can be applied to every legend, I figured why not pay respects to all the heirlooms that have been made and the effect that it's had for each one of us, and give you guys my official heirloom tier list for Season 20 of Apex Legends. Hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so let's get it started. I've been asked for my opinions a lot on this subject. A lot of people have asked me what my favorite heirlooms are, which ones I think are good or bad. And so I decided to finally pull the trigger and make this video for you guys. I know a lot of you guys excuse me, care about this a lot because heirlooms mean a lot to you. And so I figured, you know, why not give you guys my perspective and let you guys argue in the comments. One thing that you guys should know before I get started are the factors that I'm considering when it comes to an heirloom that I look at as really good or really bad. A lot of that has to do with mainly aesthetics. Is the heirloom aesthetically pleasing? And then it also has a lot to do with, does the heirloom coincide with the lore of the legend? Does the heirloom make sense for that legend? Or does it kind of feel random at all? And so, and it's the same for mythic skins as well. For mythic skins mainly aesthetics. Does it look good? I mean, and also the last component of that is it worth the money? Is it worth the couple $100s that you're going to have to spend on this item? Do you get a lot of, or I should say, what's the best bang for your buck when I'm rating these heirlooms? So all things considered, that's what I'm focusing on. We'll start in order with Bloodhound's axe. Now, I don't know where that came from, Bloodhound's axe. I don't know how it ties into Bloodhound's character at all. But it's just an axe, you know, people can create the heirlooms, people can carry axes for whatever reason. I don't know if that has a specific attachment to Bloodhound as a legend. So I don't know. But do I think that heirloom is aesthetically pleasing at all? And do I think it's worth your money? Yeah. Oh, also, one thing to consider are the animations as well. That's another thing that I'm looking at. So there's like 4 main things that I'm looking at. And for Bloodhound, are the animations solid? This is one of the earlier heirlooms where the animations aren't that good. They didn't really start focusing heavy on animations probably until about Loba. Whereas the ones that came out before that really only have a couple of animations, with the exception of a few. And so all things considered, with Bloodhound's axe, I'd probably give that a B tier. I think it's slick, it looks good. Could be better, and it could have better animations. And as always, let me know if you agree with me in the comments. Wraith's kunai. Wraith's kunai is a weird one because that's like a trendsetter, you know? That's the pioneer. That's what created heirlooms for every other legend. It started with Wraith's heirloom. So that holds a lot of weight. Does it look good? It's one of the best looking heirlooms in the game, I think. Are the animations good? Obviously not. There's like 1. I know this new one comes with other animations, so we'll get to that one in a second. But Wraith's heirloom, for all that it did, I probably have to give that an A tier rating. I probably have to. It's done so much for the game. And that inspect animation is nice. Lifeline's drumsticks. Lifeline's drumsticks. Aesthetically pleasing, yes. I like the dual wielded heirlooms personally. That's one of my favorite, and it's like the only dual wielded one. Not to get that confused with double handed heirlooms. Dual wielded meaning you wield it in one hand and you wield the other part of that in another hand. Nobody does that. No, you don't dual wield boxing gloves, so don't talk about Pathfinder in that regard. But for Lifeline, she's the only one with dual wielded heirlooms. I think besides Seer now. Seer has one too. I'm doing this as I go off the top of the dome, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. Lifeline's heirlooms appeal to her lore as well as like a musician. You know, a lot of her character has to do with drumming or playing music or being just in that universe of music. I think it looks great. Definitely worth the money. if you had to pay for it, which most people didn't. Maybe you did. And maybe you guys didn't know, but this was actually my all-time favorite heirloom before a certain character's heirloom came out. I'll let you guys guess. Lifeline's drumsticks are S tier for sure. I like that a lot. Moving forward. Now we have Mirage. Mirage's heirloom is hated on widely, and I don't understand. Okay? Is it aesthetically pleasing? It's a gold trophy. I think we all like gold trophies. Except for those that never were able to get a trophy in their lives because they suck at everything. I'm just kidding. It's a gold trophy, okay? Now let's go further than that. Mirage is a very self-conceited, self-absorbed asshole, really. But he does it ignorantly, you know. It's not like he's intentionally being malicious or being an asshole. That's just how he was raised. That might be a trauma response, whatever. I'm getting deep on these. I'm putting some thought into these. It makes a lot of sense for Mirage, as self-absorbed as he is, to have an heirloom, which is a trophy of himself. I like that a lot. The heirlooms are, the animations are meh. Like I said, it's one of the earlier ones. For these reasons, oddly enough, it's not as bad as people make it seem to be. It's not the greatest by any means, but I do like, I do think that people don't consider that it fits perfectly for Mirage and who he is as a legend, who he is as a person in this game. I have to give it a C tier, and it's still not the greatest. Everything could always be better, but people make this to be like the worst heirloom in the game. These are subject to change as I move along, so bear with me. Right now, I'm comfortable with putting Mirage's heirloom in C tier. Next, we have Pathfinder's boxing gloves. I think they're pretty cool. Again, for a lot of these earlier legends, you can't really explain how it appeals to their lore or anything of that sort. Really, it was all aesthetics to begin with. It's not like Pathfinder was a boxer in his previous life, in his previous robot life, but I'm sure there's a story behind that that I don't know about. The main complaint around Pathfinder's heirloom has a lot to do with the fact that it's big and it's bulky. But I don't think that necessarily takes away from the heirloom itself, although sometimes it kind of can. I just like the way that it looks when he's running with it. So personally, for me, I might have to give Pathfinder's boxing glove. Oddly enough, I like these a lot. I have to give him a B tier. Oddly enough, I do enjoy his boxing gloves a lot. I enjoy playing on an account or my own account that has those boxing gloves. I like them a lot. Octane's heirloom. Obviously, it appeals to his lore because it's like a heroin needle, pretty much, with some of his heroin inside of it, some stem, so to speak. The inspect animation is cool. The animations itself overall aren't the greatest. Again, like a lot of these earlier legends, I'll have to keep reiterating that. It's just a butterfly knife at the end of the day. I don't think there's much pizzazz about it. I do think it's cool, but it obviously isn't the greatest. And I think it could be looked at, especially compared to some of the other heirlooms, as pretty mediocre. So for these reasons, I might have to give Octane's heirloom. I haven't put any thought into these at all, chat. I might have to throw that C right now. Right now. No D's, E's, or F's just yet. There won't be that many of them either. Gibby's heirloom. I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm pretty sure there are like inscriptions, some things that are inscribed in it that kind of give off like this islander feel to it. And he kind of plays with it and carries it as if it were something that is like kind of like an heirloom in his culture, an artifact of some sort within his culture, within his family, or whatever. I like the way it looks, and I like the way that he interacts with it. Gibby's heirloom, let me know in the comments if you disagree. I love hearing you guys yap. I might have to give his heirloom an A tier. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like his heirloom a lot. Bangalore's knife. I personally have this one. I don't have many, but I personally have this one. Bangalore's heirloom. It's cool. it gets to a point where it's like, okay, a lot of these knife heirlooms don't really appeal to their lore at all, so I can't really consider that as much as I'd like to. Aesthetically, I think it's a slick looking knife, and the way she interacts with it and the way that it looks itself, I think is cooler than Octane's knife heirloom. Personally, for me, it's not the greatest, as I like the more vibrant and more thoughtful ones that really make it feel like very specific to that legend. I feel like an heirloom like Bangalore's knife, you could really give that to any legend. Same with Octane's heirloom. You could give that to any legend. It's a knife. You can make up a story as to why every single legend could have a knife. After all, they kill each other. That's what they do for a living. So it makes sense that they have a knife. I might have to give hers, because I do like it slightly more than Octane's. I have to give it a B tier. I don't think I'm far off. As long as I'm within plus or minus 1, that's a dub for me. Revenant's heirloom, I don't need to talk about it, bro. I know you guys probably want me to, so I still will. I'll get to why I disregard everything Revenant related, not because of his abilities, just because he always gets the coolest shit. Obviously his scythe. Hey Siri, how do you pronounce scythe?
Okay, I found
Scythe.
this on the web for
His scythe is extremely cool. The way that he interacts with it is extremely cool. It looks amazing. It feels amazing. And it fits perfectly like the Grim Reaper, somebody who's all about death, which is Revenant's main motive in his life is revenge and death. It's all around probably one of the best heirlooms. But again, I disregard it. When people talk about what's your favorite, everything Revenant gets is good. And it irritates me because why? I wish other legends got that kind of love. Revenant's heirloom, I give it S tier. Moving forward, Caustic's heirloom. Hold on, I'm getting a call right now. One moment, please. I'm not cutting this out either. Caustic's heirloom. Okay. This might surprise some of you guys. Does it appeal to the character's lore? Sure. Whatever it is, it's a hammer of some sort. Caustic is a bulkier dude, strong enough to carry something like that. It's got toxic gas coming out of it, which is what he's all about, obviously. His heirloom. The animations suck. And I don't think, genuinely, that his heirloom looks cool enough or appeals to his, the world that he lives in, what he's about, as much as it should, for me to put it anywhere higher than... that might piss off a lot of people. Genuinely, the animations suck, and they suck so badly that any other redeeming quality that it has, I don't think competes with how bad the animations are. Like, it's a very boring heirloom. Does it look cool? Kinda. Does it look cool as Revenant's scythe? No. Does it look cool as a kunai? No. I think we could all agree. That's probably a pretty mid heirloom. And I'm comfortable with putting that in D tier. Ooh. Rampart's wrench. Rampart's wrench. She's a mechanic. She likes fixing shit. It appeals perfectly to who she is as a legend and what she's about. Aesthetically, it's garbage. Animations, yeah, they're pretty cool. But aesthetically, it's so bad. It's literally a household item that every single one of us has. And because of that, because it's like real worldly, it comes from our world, something that we interact with all the time. It's just a wrench. And to all those Rampart meat suckers, they'll be like, yeah, but the gumballs are cool and she's a mechanic, so it works perfectly. It's a wrench. They literally made you, remember bang for your buck? They literally made you guys pay $160 for a wrench. Hey Siri, how much does the average wrench cost?
The average price for wrenches ranges from $10 to $150. This answer is from the Home Depot.
Who's buying a $150 wrench? You know damn well you guys don't pay for wrenches like that. That's probably like a power tool wrench, if that's even a thing. $10. You could go buy one at Home Depot, as Siri says, for $10. You just paid for $160 worth of wrench pixels. That's ass. F tier. Woo-hoo! I might piss some people off with that one. Next, we have Wattson's one. Double whammy. Wattson's Heirloom. First off, what the fuck is it? I know it's like an energy radar, right? What the fuck is that? Does it appeal to the legend? Yes, because she's all about science and electricity and energy. I think it's like an electricity radar, whatever. It looks disgusting, as people say, for good reason. It looks like a Walmart price scanner. Does it not? And because of that, I rate this actually very, very low. And I rate this as some of the weakest 2 heirlooms in the game. Both F tier. It's not because of my feelings about Wattson and her abilities. Genuinely. And if this might piss you off, and I understand. With a legend like Wattson, where she's all about electricity, energy, anything in that realm, I feel like they could have come up with something a lot cooler. Granted, it's cute. It's got that little game that she plays because she's a cute, quirky legend who's like really into science, but still like a really cute girl at the end of the day. Mesh them both together. What's not like? I hate it. You gave me that crap for $160 when you could have given me all sorts of things electricity related. That's F tier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Crypto sword. It looks cool. It does, doesn't it? Doesn't he have 2 of them hoes? What's the difference between them? The color? Animations? That's it? The original crypto sword. I don't really know the animations for this one. There probably aren't many because it's an earlier legend. Actually, no, his came out really late though. Yeah, it did. He was like the longest standing legend without an heirloom for a long, long time. I have to give this a C tier. Just because it's like, it looks cool, it feels cool. It's just mid. I don't think it requires a deeper explanation than that. In my heart of hearts, I think it's just mid. Now we got Bloodhound's mythic skin. This is F tier. This is probably by far I'll put it E tier. Not too far away from being the worst, but it's up there. I prefer to spend my money on that with the finisher and all those things over a Walmart price scanner and a gumball wrench. But it doesn't mean that it's good at all. In fact, I think it's very boring. The color scheme is garbage. It's very dull. It's very plain. The finisher itself, meh. I give it E tier. Let me know if you agree. Don't care if you do. Valkyries, what would you call this contraption? It's like a javelin of some sort. Animations are cool for this one. They're really cool. It's a bit bulky. It's a bit big. Takes up a lot of the screen. Is it a javelin though? Because I'm trying to see how it fits into her lore. I know one of her animations has like a... I think she's Japanese, right? So it has like a ramen bowl there to appeal to her. And that's one thing that I don't like. They just throw in these random animations that are a bit more personal to that legend because she's Japanese. And so bring up a bowl of ramen, which is a Japanese dish. But the heirloom itself doesn't scream Japanese to me. At all. And something I'll get to later, but something like Loba's fan actually kind of appeals to that culture a bit more. If you think about, especially, you know, feudal Japan or feudal China way back in the day when they would walk around with these fans. I feel like that's very specific to like Asian culture. I feel like Loba's heirloom aligns with that more properly than whatever this javelin is. And that's why they had to make up for it with putting a ramen bowl in it. Because they're like, okay, we're just throwing darts out here. It's just random at this point. But it looks cool. Overall, I'll probably give this a B tier. Yeah, because I like it all. I like it better than every other one of these. Bangs! Mythic skin. Are you still with me? I'm trying to be quick. That's F tier. I'm sorry. This is by far the worst mythic skin that they've come out with so far. Again, for the same reasons I rated Bloodhound's mythic skin so low, Bangalore's mythic skin looks garbage. The color scheme. Who decided for Bangalore that we were going to come out with a green and orange color scheme? Those colors hardly match. And when they do, it's Halloween time. And even then, the green is a super dull green. Like an army green. With this very weird and contrasting bright orange. I think the design of it is horrible. For the price point, I think it's by far the worst, one of the worst items that you could buy in this game. Aside from the finisher, which is okay, I guess. I'll be honest. Just the look of it itself, to pay that much money for that crap, that's F tier. On to Loba's mythic, excuse me, heirloom. Loba's heirloom. Come on. This is not bias, okay? I know some of you might be, oh, Scrappy, you're just Loba, man. Of course you put her up there. I think, hopefully, most of us can agree that her animations for this heirloom are by far the best and most extensive out of any other heirloom. She has about, what, maybe 4 different or 5 different even inspections. It's small, so it's not bulky. It doesn't take up a lot of your screen. In fact, I wish they'd probably give her 2 of these because I like the dual wielded heirloom so much. That's what I was hoping for. One of the things that I was hoping for. I think it looks great. The detail on that is amazing. From the color of it to the way the blades glow to the inscriptions that are written onto it in Portuguese, I believe, to her animations, to the sleekness, overall aesthetics, everything considered, that's my favorite heirloom. I have to put that in S tier. Wraith's mythic skin. I think this is probably one of the better mythic skins. I think it looks great. The blue and gold goes much better than orange and green. Blue and gold looks nice. I think it looks great. I think it's a nice, sturdy outfit for you to put on. I think the finisher's cool. I forget what else they come with. Do they come with skins? Or they come with trails as well, right? I think that trail is cool as well. For that reason, I'll have to give Wraith's mythic skin probably, if I'm being unbiased, an A tier. Although I say unbiased because I'm very biased when it comes to spending money on video game items, so I would never buy it. But I think if you're Wraith main, or you like spending your money on video games, items within a video game, I think that's a solid purchase. I think you get a damn good bang for your buck. Seer's heirlooms. I think I've probably come across Seer's heirloom the least, aside from probably like Fuse. Seer's heirloom looks cool. I'll give you that. It's dual wielded as well. I don't see how it pertains to his lore at all, what Seer represents at all by any means. I don't even know what you would call the style of blade. Let me know in the comments. The animations, I can't even know off the top of my head what exactly the animations are. But this is I've never found this heirloom, for whatever reason, internally, as striking, or something that I definitely spend my money on. Because of that, I say it's pretty damn mid. I might have to give this a D tier. I know a lot of people also kind of agree with that as well. The people that I've spoken to about heirlooms. It's just kind of like a meh. Meh. Maybe it's because we all have trauma from the Seer days. Oh, this is Ash's heirloom. Nunchucks for Ash. Why are we giving something that's so deeply involved with martial arts and therefore more or less Asian culture? Somebody that likes to fight, at least at the very minimum, would use something like this. They had to make it kind of a bit more intimidating than regular nunchucks by putting these weird blade tips at the bottom of it, which would promote more lethality because it'll stab you, not just bludgeon you. So I get it. It looks a bit more intimidating, but I think it's an awkward looking heirloom. There's nothing crazy about it at all. Animations suck. The look isn't the greatest. It's a nunchuck at the end of the day. I probably have to give that one D tier as well. It's just meh. For Wraith's Heirloom, the newer version. Although I do like the blue lighting on the original one way better than orange or red, whatever you would call that, personally. Because the animations are better and it does look a bit cooler with a bit more detail, I can't put this in S tier, but I would put it in A tier, but I put maybe Wraith's Heirloom, maybe like A or A minus, and I put this probably like A plus, if I'm just being consistent. I can't put this one all the way down here, which offers a lot more, and put Wraith's Heirloom up there. But specifically with Wraith's Heirloom, because even though it lacks a lot of animation, it's the one that started it all. So the nostalgia factor plays a huge role for that one. Hence why I put Wraith's Heirloom so high. Maybe if it came out later and it wasn't as monumental, maybe it's more of like a C tier, where I'd put this probably at like a B tier. But with the way things are in this lifetime, they're both A, with this one being slightly higher. Caustic's mythic skin, I think, is a pretty solid one. I think it looks great. Green, which plays in, you know, in tune with, you know, his noxious gas, his corrosive gas that he has. So green with that, green from the gas. Obviously, he likes the color green. I think it looks dope. I think the finish is cool. All things considered, I might have to give this one an A tier as well. And I probably rate this slightly higher than Wraith's mythic heirloom skin. Horizon's Heirloom, excuse me. This one pisses me off, and this might surprise a lot of you guys. Horizon was one of the legends that had a long time since their release and when their heirloom came out. And that length in between was like one of the longest ever at some point. After Crypto got his, I believe. Horizon's Heirloom. What pisses me off so much is because she's intergalactic. She's multi-dimensional. When it comes to a legend like Horizon, as strong as she is, as prevalent as she's used in game, I was hoping for something out of this world, so to speak. And this has components of that with the black hole on top of it. I just think they went about the design so poorly, and the spikes on top of it really make it look dumb, and it genuinely does look like a vibrator. And because they have endless opportunities. They could have gone about her heirloom so many different ways, because every other legend stuck to their world, but Horizon is ubiquitous. She's lived for eternity. She can't die. She's explored probably many galaxies, and that's what we come up with. They should have put in a lot more effort. It seems rushed. I probably have to put this a D tier. Yeah. Valkyrie's mythic skin. I feel like I don't know if I've seen anybody use this actually ever at all, because they came out with this after they hard nerfed her, and I don't see a lot of people rocking this. I think it looks cool. I don't know much about it. Because of that, I have to be impartial. We'll put it at C tier. Not because I hate it, not because it's C tier in and of itself. I just don't know much about it at all. I haven't really seen it. Don't care to look it up. For the same reason as before, for Revenant. And while we're at it, it's just stupid. And that's why I just disregard everything. Sorry if you're a Rev main and it pisses you off. They've always given him the coolest shit. He's got 2 heirlooms, a mythic skin, twice as many damn near as 90% of the legends, or 3 times as much as 90% of the legends. And they all look great. They all look sick. Every battle pass that's come out and they give him legendary skins or for events, it's always the coolest looking skin. Everything for him is damn near S tier. It's irritating. I'm not sure if I've seen a skin on him that I didn't like. Fuses a guitar. I'm a bit perplexed as to why they chose a guitar. I don't know his background, if he's a musician or he likes playing musician, or just kind of it's in tune with that whole rock and roll theme of Fuse, that badass theme. Which, okay, now that I'm speaking about it, it probably makes a bit more sense why they chose something like this, because a guitar, especially as pimped out as it looks, you know, is like a token of rockstar lifestyle, which I feel like Fuse aligns with. I honestly don't know much about this one either, because I haven't seen this one be played at all. I think the animations are cool. I haven't really seen what it looks like in game. For that reason, I'll probably have to put it C tier. Yeah, I genuinely don't know much about it. I'm not gonna lie. If I knew more about it based on the way it looks alone, I'd probably put it B tier. Loba's mythic skin. This one received a lot of hate. There are different variations when I talk about these mythic skins. For the previous one, I'm mainly talking about that third tier because usually that should be the best looking one, and it is for almost every other legend, I think. Loba's mythic tier, I feel like mythic skin is the first mythic skin where like all three of them look really good. And it depends on what you're about. For me personally, I like the second tier the most. Like by far. Like I think that's a S tier skin. The third tier and the first tier, I probably like the third tier a bit better than the first tier. A lot of people hated on the third tier because it was like bulky, but it looks badass, bro. And it's got like this Anubis or like wolf looking mask, which plays into obviously Loba, which means like wolf in Spanish, I believe. And overall speaks to her entire mystique and stealthness and how sly she is, and that's why I feel like she probably indoctrinated herself as one of the wolves. Personally, I probably put this S tier because it's probably the skin that gives you the most bang for your buck for a mythic skin, and these cost what, like a couple $100s? I don't know if I'd rate it as high as Revenant though, so maybe I put this at like A+. Or like A++, or S. No, I'll do S-. Just below all of these, but just higher than all of these. Lastly, we have Crypto's Heirloom. We already went over his original one. If it looks better and there are more animations and I rated it somewhere here or here, I have to rate it at least one higher. We'll put it there for B tier right now. Let me know what you guys think. As long as I'm within ±1, I'm solid. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree with any of them. If you're talking to me about Wattson or Rampart, save it for your mother. Love you guys. Peace out. I'll see you guys next time. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam.